There seems to be confusion about toxic people and toxic behavior as being a mental disorder or some kind of a personality disorder. Toxic behavior, toxic people are not classified in the DSM-5 revised, nor is it thought of as a personality disorder. It's a way a person is. You can have a personality of being a toxic person, but you can't really have that as a personality disorder. A personality disorder is on the cluster B type of personality diagnosis, and there are more things like borderline personality disorder or histrionic personality disorder. But most of the time, toxic people are just that. They're toxic people who practice toxic behaviors, and they're extremely manipulative. And just like you and me, they date, they get married to people who don't know what they're getting into, and they end up wreaking havoc and throwing people under the bus that they care about and that care about them at their whim. Basically, they don't think about people the same way other people do. They're not compassionate, and they're not thoughtful with their remarks. A toxic person has different qualities, and if you see these when you're dating, I recommend you stop dating them, because unless they want to change, there's going to be no reform on their part. But this is what to look for. Number one, toxic people are very manipulative. They manipulate situations and people so they get their way. So they end up being the one who is saved or looks great and everything else. And if they throw somebody under the bus, it doesn't matter if they love you. If you think, I can't believe you did that to me, think again, because you're the very person they're going to do that to. They're judgmental. They make the criteria for their judgments too. And they do it on a self-righteous type of platform where you shouldn't have done that. You're bad, or you're deemed unworthy because you did that, and that was my standard. They don't apologize. No matter what they've done to you, don't expect an apology from them. And if you do get one, it's going to be very superficial. They're narcissistic and they're aggressive individuals. They work the system so that it comes out in their favor. They basically tend to themselves, and they're aggressive with what their needs are, and basically they don't care about you, they don't care what your needs are, and they're inconsistent. They can often change on a dime. So that's why many times they can put on a flattering act for your friends and family, and they all think you got like the jackpot. Wow, what a great person. They don't know the underbelly of this person, and if you do, then don't worry about what your options are. Get out of the relationship. If you marry this kind of person, then it's even worse, because in a sense, you're going to try and be with them and make it work. And all I can tell you with that is it's only going to work if they want it to work and they do the work to do that. So what should you do? The first thing is, I want you to be more blunt with them. I want you to be blunt, and rather than asking them, is this okay? You say, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and you follow through. Don't expect them to be charming or happy that you're standing up to them, that you're making your own life now, because they won't like it. They like controlling you. And when you stand up to them, they're kind of shocked, but they'll come back around, and you'll see. Set boundaries. Set boundaries and make them firm. If your faith is important to you, tell them that. And if they make fun of it or they judge you for that, what are you doing in this relationship? How you feel about yourself at the end of the day is going to be more important. What standards are you living up to? What values? If faith and finances and family are important to you, and anybody gets in the way of those, you need to set firm boundaries around those to protect those. Don't give in to them and stop seeing your family, or stop going to church, or stop taking care of your job and your financial matters. Just keep it separate from them so that they can't mingle in it and change it on you. Make yourself a priority. Get a life. Lots of times people who end up dating someone like this, basically they have no life. They make their life around the relationship. And you've got to stop doing that, because if that's you, you're going to attract this kind of person. They're like, oh, here's somebody I can manipulate. Oh, here's somebody who needs to live a life taking care of me. They will find you, they will search you, and they will try to get in with you. And they have a lot more tactics to make you just fall completely in love with them than you have to guard against them. So start making your own demands. What is your life? What do you want? What do you value? Those are important things for you to take time and focus on. Learn to say no. When you set good boundaries, you need to know how to say no. You need to stop trying to be liked, and rather than that, be respected by yourself again. Make time for you. Make time for what you deem meaningful, because you're only going to get one life. And if you consistently give in to try and make this person like you, you're going to end up with someone you're with that's going to make your life miserable. I think also be compassionate, but know that it's not your job to fix them. You can't fix them. Even mental health workers can't fix them unless the toxic person wants to do better. If they want a relationship bad enough, if they really do have a side that's fallen in love with you and they can commit to you, then they can go to help for help and get help. And what I want you to do is make that mandatory for the relationship. If you're in a relationship with them, God forbid, or you're married to them, then what I would say is, listen, the only way this relationship is going to work is if you go to therapy. If it's not worth it for you to go and make changes, then that's okay. Then that's the answer I needed. Then the marriage can never sustain itself anyway, because I know in my heart it's not okay for me to be a doormat to make a marriage work. Much better you let go of the relationship than stay with someone like this, because this person, as much as you want to talk yourself out of it, really needs help. And the only way this kind of person can get help is if they hit a rock bottom where others are telling them you have a problem, and they eventually will go to therapy. So the choice is going to be yours in the end. But whatever you do, don't take them on thinking that if you give them more love or more support, they're going to come around, because they won't. Not with this kind of person. This person has had a lifetime history of being this way, and they're not about to change for you or anyone else. The only person they can change for is themselves. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.